Welcome everybody to Breaking the Huddle, the Scott County and Great Crossing weekly show where we bring you all the best of winter sports here, brought to you by SCAD, Scott Countyans Against Drugs, and Moses Inc. for all your lawn care needs right here in Georgetown. It's been a busy week. Let's get right to it. Of course, let's mention first, you may be watching this after it happens, but first Battle of the Birds between the boys basketball teams. Both teams will be 3-3. That will be played Thursday night, December the 19th. One team's going to be over the 500 mark. One team's going to be under. One team's going to have bragging rights. One team's going to be wondering what happened. But we expect a good game there. That's all we're going to say about that one because we don't have anything to talk about yet. Let's go to let's flash back a little bit to how those two teams got there. Great Crossing with a 3-game win streak. As they started off 0-3, a little frustrated by all that, but of course last week we mentioned their first ever win at East Jessamine, and they continued that role with a convincing win in the Kentucky Indiana Challenge Cup, the Hall of Fame Challenge over Cambridge City Lincoln out of Indiana. Put up 60 points in the second half of that game. Great game for KJ Tucker, had 27 of his 29 after intermission. 4 players in double figures, and they went on to their district opener, 41st district. You may or may not have known they're in a different district in Scott County. And they showed they'll be a force to be reckoned with in that district as they routed Franklin County to pull even at 3-3, go to 1-0. And what Coach Steve Page says is kind of the real season. He says, if I had a choice to win only 7 games, it'd be those 7, which means the 7 regular season games in the 41st district. Great Crossing doing some good things there. Jalen Barber had a great game. He was our player of the game on the Bird's Nest broadcast. Hope you've been able to catch some of those, by the way, and they will continue throughout the season. How about the Scott County boys? It's been up and down, up and down. They got back on the winning track with a win over Lexington Christian Academy last Thursday night. They come from Hyman. They're down by 11 in the first half. Then they jumped out on Jeffersonville, Indiana, 10-0 on Saturday and held on for a wild 77-72 win. Just a crazy back-and-forth game there. Scott County beat one of the top teams in the Hoosier State to get on the plus side and get rolling. 2-game winning streak, feeling good about themselves. Headed to Woodford County. Kind of a trap game, thinking ahead to Great Crossing, maybe a little bit. Got behind early, roared back. Some mild controversy at the end, but they fell short 67-65 on a 3-pointer. It was no whistle at the buzzer, despite what the Cards thought was some contact. So they dropped to 3-3 going into that Great Crossing game. So some wild boys action. Both teams kind of different tracks to this point. We'll see how it goes here after the Battle of the Birds, of course. Not a district game, so it's kind of for bragging rights more than anything at this point in the season. How about the girls? Let's start with the Great Crossing girls. They've dropped 0-5, but they continue to be impressive as they've improved every game and playing hard right till the end. Had a great game, a great rally against Dunbar. It cut it from 24 to 11 points at the end. Similar situation, almost identical, against Covenant Christian out of Indianapolis on Saturday in the Challenge Cup. And then Tuesday night, I think everybody probably thought, rightfully, Franklin County, the team that's run the 41st district, would dominate that game. But it was only a 49-43 loss for the Lady Warhawks. The Fairleigh Math scores 12 points late, 16 in all, to lead the Lady Warhawks as our player of the game on the broadcast. And now they think they got a pretty good shot going into the tournament at Lexington Catholic, the traditional bank classic, where they'll play 4 games in 4 days, starting Friday night with Covington Scott, another team that's 0-5. So a good matchup early. Maybe get GC on the track there. How about the Scott County girls? It's been a wild stretch, but they are 5-3. They're on a 2-game win streak. They've defeated back-to-back now Holmes out of Covington and Henry Clay. The second one putting them at 2-0 in the district, 5-3 on the season. A huge game from Morgan DeFore, 30 points and 10 assists. It was a strange weekend for the Cards as they lost 3 games last week, and briefly there was a separation involving Coach and Morgan, but they're back together. We're glad to see it. Obviously that program is a lot better with her on the floor. We saw that last night with just the passing. Malaya Williams, Kennedy Tompkins, strong in the middle, and some of these younger players, you're going to like people like Malia Moore, Cannon Owens, you name it, Emma Price, they are contributing. And I think that team is going to peak in February and be ready to do some great things as they look for the third consecutive collegiate championship. I want to add one more note. The 42nd District Tournament will be at Scott County High School this year. It was Sayre's turn to host, but their gym, if you've ever been there, pretty tiny. They needed a bigger facility, and Scott County will step up and host that February the 24th through the 28th. So that's something to look forward to. We want to talk about wrestling, swimming, and archery as this show goes forward, but we're out of time for this week. Those teams will be kicking into action in January, and we'll certainly have a lot more about them as well. Until next time, thank you for joining us. See you on the sidelines.